Okay, we have demonstrated what happens when we turn on the massive ion infusion that takes those particles out of the air. What we're going to show, and unfortunately we don't have smell-o-vision so that you can do that, we've invited some folks in so that they can witness what happens when this technology goes to work on some odors that we all find offensive. And for that, we brought in some folks from Reformers Unanimous staff, and I have some paper towels and some ammonia. And in true Swedish Scotch Irish fashion, I have gotten the cheapest that I can find. And usually that means it's also the skankiest smelling that I can get. Even though it says lemon on there, the lemon is not going to be able to cover up what this stuff is for real. So we're going to saturate this paper towel. And we're going to pass it around. We don't expect them to hold it up to their nose, but they can do this, and they will verify that it is or is not a smell that they would really, truly not like to have in their home or near their noses. And we want to make sure that there's enough on there that, yeah, I think that'll do the trick. You can hold it by the dry side and pass it around and tell me whether you think it's ammonia or not.
Yeah.
Okay. We make believers out of them sooner or later. Okay, well, yeah, okay. You guys are so teachable. I showed you how to do it this way.
Let's try it. We can try it our way.
Oh, wait a minute. Brother Richardson hasn't had a chance to verify because we want all the witnesses to...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and cork this up because that's really not what... Okay, we all agree this is not an odor that we like. So for this demonstration, we have put the purifier up on high, or on there we are, that's as high as it will go. I've turned the fan down as low as it will go, and then we put this in front. Now, look what happens to the paper when I do that. You can see that the airflow is hitting it, so you know that the air is coming in the back and coming out. We are not filtering odor out of this. We're treating the odor with the technology that's in here. And what is coming out of here now is the same thing that God provides when He provides thunder. We've all heard of ozone alerts. And we get freaked out because, oh my goodness, a lot of ozone out there. Do you know why there is ozone? God in His mercy sends ozone to fix a problem. You never have an ozone alert when you do not have pollution. How about that? And what happens to the ozone once the pollution goes away? The ozone goes away. What an amazing God who thought He was so smart. Okay? Now, I haven't been timing it, but I can already sense a difference from where I am because this air is bouncing back at me. And I'll turn it that way for the sake of time. And just for grins, I'm going to... It's still there, but not nearly what... I bet you wouldn't have quite the same reaction. It's not fun yet, but... And again, I'm not running the fan on high. I'm just letting it do what it has to do. There's another demonstration we do that's similar. We'll get an onion, cut it in half, and we'll have somebody rub the onion on the back of both hands, put one behind them, put the other one in front of the machine, and about the same length of time, 1.5 to 2 minutes. You will not be able to smell onion on the hand that was on this side, but behind your back it's still onion. That smoke smell that we had before, can anybody still smell that? Is that pretty well gone already, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? It's faint, but it's still there, but it's not. You're welcome to smell it, then I'll put it back on there. Anybody, do I have any volunteers?
Sure.
Okay. It's not totally gone yet because it hasn't been there long enough, but a big difference, would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. By the way, this technology is found to take out 80 to 90% of all of the that goes with a sneeze within 3 feet of a sneeze. That's how important this technology is. And all the time that this is dealing with the odors, the other parts of this are dealing with the pathogens and germs and so on that are on surfaces. So instead of Mom or somebody else having to go around and spritz with the Lysol and the Clorox and everything else, hopefully not together, to try to get things clean, this is handling that. It's killing the germs, same as it's killing the odors, everywhere there's a surface. Imagine the value of this in a church nursery. Wouldn't you feel more comfortable leaving your baby in a nursery that had the air purifier like this where the germs can't grow on the surfaces? That's pretty amazing.
Wow, it's really faint. It's like almost nothing.
If I gave it probably another 30 seconds, it would be nothing. But isn't that remarkable? Because you weren't being so receptive to that earlier.
Wow.
And that's what's coming out of it. That's why we call this active air purification, because it is going out, finding the pollution and fixing it, rather than hoping that pollution will somehow magically make its way in here. If you had the world's best vacuum cleaner, you could turn it on, and let's suppose it gets 100% of all of the dirt. If you turn it on here, what would it do to the dirt over there? Nothing, because the dirt hadn't found it, right? But instead, this goes and finds it and fixes it. Is that cool? Did it do what I said it would do?
It did.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have just witnessed a miracle, because I've never been able to get it to do it before. But just for grins, I'll give it another couple of seconds or so and then let you smell it, and it should be completely gone. One of the reasons we turn the fan down is because when the ammonia is fresh on there, the fan smell would be blessing you in ways that you would prefer not to be blessed.
Do you have different levels of
Yes. This is set up to the full 3,000 square feet
right?
because we're treating something. We would normally we would put it either at no ozone or at about 250 square feet if we were just doing this room. So we calculate the square footage of the house and set it.
No would still put some out.
Doesn't put out ozone, but what you did not have in the technology that you're used to. See this UV light here?
Mm-hmm.
That UV light is a targeted UVX light that's going against a target that has been covered with 4 rare and noble metals. And that is creating a plasma reaction. And it creates a plasma, meaning a mixture of 4 different radical hydroxyls that are killing germs. And this technology, although ozone is good, this technology is several times better than ozone alone. The combination is just absolutely fantastic when you're dealing with germs. And every major pathogen that you can remember the SARS epidemic? You weren't even reading back 5 years ago, I'm sorry. But you remember the SARS epidemic. It was killing people. Over 1,000 people died from it. And it was showing up in subways and where people gathered in public. The Chinese came to the United States for this technology, and that's what went over there. And you haven't heard of SARS since because it fixed it. Is that amazing? After 9/11, this technology was taken to Independence Hall in Philadelphia and some other places like that, dealing with any potential terrorist threat of things that could be harmful. And because this seeks and finds it, we're not having to find it and deal with it. Is that amazing? Now, that's what we're talking about.
Whoa. That's
What does it smell like?
smells like nothing. Oh, it's just like a very faint, like it's barely even there.
And in fact, if you hold it about 2 inches away from it just smells sweet, kind of like a baby talcum powder or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that neat?
Yep, you're right.
You think that would be a help in a nursery?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Any questions? You're just in awe of the technology, aren't you?
Yes.
Or you're afraid to be on camera is what it is. Thanks so much for taking time for your very busy schedule.